Overzealous. Yeah, emotionally.
Even when I was up against an overzealous agent, I had a number of methods for discouraging a search.
Hey everybody, welcome to this Talk Word Explainer. I am so glad you're hanging out with us today. You know, whether you're actively learning English or you're a native speaker just wanting to level up your vocabulary, you've probably noticed that English has some incredibly specific, expressive words. Well, today we're diving headfirst into one of those beautifully precise words. We're going to decode, totally deconstruct, and completely master the word overzealous. And I promise you, by the end of this explainer, you won't just know the definition. You're going to know exactly how it works and exactly when to drop it into your everyday conversations.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever cared just a bit too much? Like, picture this. You're at a freezing cold football game, right? And there's always that one fan who decides it's a great idea to take off their shirt and paint their entire body in the team's colors, in the snow. Or, oh, here's a good one. Remember back in school that one hallway monitor who took their job way, way too seriously? Like they were a Secret Service agent protecting the president instead of just, watching kids walk to math class? We have all seen people like this. They're passionate? Absolutely. But they've kind of pushed that passion right past the line of normal behavior. Well, lucky for us, the English language has the absolute perfect word for that exact scenario.
All right, section 1, defining the word. Let's get into it. Okay, so the formal dictionary definition of overzealous is this: too zealous in attitude or behavior, excessively enthusiastic or eager. Now, I really want you to notice those key modifiers in there. Too zealous, excessively enthusiastic. You see, this word is all about enthusiasm that has crossed a boundary. It's not just about liking something or trying really hard, it's about taking it to a level that might actually be unhelpful or, honestly, kind of annoying. When someone's eagerness actually starts getting in the way of common sense, yep, that is the exact moment they've crossed over into overzealous territory. And I think this next point brilliantly illustrates what I like to call the Goldilocks contrast. So being simply zealous is usually a really positive or at least neutral trait. It means you're dedicated, you're full of great energy for a cause. Employers love zealous workers, right? But the second you slap over onto the front of it, the whole vibe changes. Overzealous means excessive or even harmful enthusiasm. It's the bowl of porridge that is just way too hot. It's basically what happens when good intentions go entirely overboard. Moving right along to section 2, anatomy of the word. Now, understanding how words are built, that is literally the ultimate cheat code for English learners. And we can actually stack 3 distinct parts together here. Step 1 is our prefix, over. Whenever you spot this, you instantly know it means excessive or too much. Think of stuff like overcooked or overloaded. Then, step 2 is the root word, zeal, which just means great energy or enthusiasm. And finally, step 3, the suffix, us. This little ending transforms the whole thing into an adjective meaning possessing the quality of. So you stack them all up, and overzealous literally means someone who possesses the quality of excessive energy. Actually, breaking words down like this is a massive game changer. It really empowers you to decode hundreds of similar structures all across the English language. But before we look at some modern examples, I just have to briefly highlight the word's origin. The term overzealous actually first showed up in the mid-17th century. I mean, think about that for a second. Way back in the 1600s, literally hundreds of years ago, English speakers were already surrounded by people who were just trying way too hard. It just goes to show human nature really hasn't changed at all. Society has needed a highly specific term for doing entirely too much for centuries. All right, let's look at section 3, real-world usage. Okay, take this totally relatable example. The overzealous security guard checked my ID 3 times before letting me into the building. I love this because it perfectly anchors our abstract definition to a very concrete and, let's be real, a slightly annoying mental image. I mean, we can all picture this exact guard, right? You hand them your ID, they stare at it, they look up at you, they hold it up to the light, they check it again. They aren't doing anything illegal or anything, but their level of enthusiasm for checking IDs is completely, totally excessive for the situation. They are, without a doubt, being overzealous. So the crucial point here is knowing exactly when to use it in conversation, and we typically see it paired with very specific types of nouns. For instance, you'll hear about an overzealous fan who, storms the stage at a concert, or maybe an overzealous reporter who shoves a microphone in someone's face and just refuses to take no for an answer. Or, and this is probably the most common one, overzealous enforcement of rules. Think of a referee in a basketball game blowing the whistle every 5 seconds for the tiniest, most insignificant infractions, completely ruining the flow of the game. Basically, whenever authority, fandom, or investigation goes a bit too far, this is absolutely your go-to word.
And that brings us to Section 4, the Talk Word app.
Listen, if you loved diving this deep into the mechanics and the true meaning of overzealous, then you absolutely got to keep the momentum going. I highly, highly encourage you to download the Talk Word Companion app. It is hands down the perfect way to turn your daily vocabulary building into a really fun auditory habit. You can listen to these super engaging podcast-style explanations of virtually any English word right from your phone. It's honestly the most efficient and entertaining way to dramatically expand your vocabulary while you're on the go. So definitely make sure to check that out. Now, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought to make this word completely unforgettable. So tell me, what is a time you were completely overzealous about a brand new hobby? You know what I mean. Did you decide to take up baking and immediately run out to buy a $500 mixer, professional pastry legs, and like 20 pounds of flour, only to completely give up a week later? Yeah, we've all been there. Think about your own overzealous moments. If you connect this word to your own life experiences, I promise you're never going to forget it. Thank you so much for learning with me today. Stay curious, and I will catch you in the next explainer.